Okay, hi class. Okay, so now we continue with the example. Okay, so in this video, I will show you how, the steps of how to answer for the Fourier series. Okay, so example 1 here. So the question asks you to determine the Fourier series for, sorry, this is my cat. Okay, just ignore this. Okay, all right, so we back to the question. So this is your fx. So fx is equal to negative x here, and they have interval, and you have another one equation. Okay, if you can see here, this is not the equation. The question that you will need to solve is this one. Okay, this one is the equation of regarding the periodic function. So periodic function, like I said just now, t is equal to L, right? So this is your t. Okay, so this is your t. So this one actually is the extra information that you will use to find your L. Okay, like I mentioned just now, they have two ways to find your L. First, from the interval itself. So yeah, you can get directly from here, or you can get directly from this equation. So this equation is 2 here is represent t. So therefore, your L is equal to 1. Okay, so yeah, actually from this interval, so you can get your L is equal to 1 already, but this is the extra lah. Okay, I mean for some question, maybe it gives you either one, so you can use either interval or also periodic equation here. Okay, but the question here is this one. Okay, the equation that you need to solve is fx equal to negative x. Okay guys, so first thing first, before we go to the Fourier series, what we need to do is you need to check whether your function here, this is your function, you need to check whether your function here is odd or even. That's the first step that you need to do it first. Okay, so first step, you need to check whether your fx is odd or even. Okay, so this is your fx equal to negative x. So I will use the what we call equation. Okay, so let's say I start with this one lah, negative x. So therefore, this will be this equation, and this one will be positive, kan? So your equation just now is negative, therefore it will be is negative fx. Okay, so f negative x is equal to negative fx, and this is odd function. Okay, this is odd function. Alright, okay class, so yeah, you already done for the first step. With this, you know that this is odd. So now step number 2, since this is odd function, so which Fourier which Fourier coefficient that will be equal to 0? A naught, a n, or b n? This is odd. Okay, this is odd. So when it's odd, means that your a naught and your n are equal to 0. So you write this one because they have a marks for this. Okay, and step number 3, you write down your equation Fourier series that you need to solve here is equal to summation n1 infinity bn sine n pi x over L. Is it? Okay, so what is your bn here? So bn, this is the equation for bn. Okay, so now I write down the equation for bn. Okay, bn equation is equal to 2 over L 0L fx sine n pi x over L dx lah, of course lah, dx. Okay, because they have an integral, is it? Okay, so this is the equation for bn. I repeat again, bn is equal to 2 over L 0L fx sine n pi x over L dx. So you need to solve this bn first. After that, after you get a value, for example a, so what we do next is you need to replace here. Okay, so this is the final answer. This is your final answer. You will get your final answer for in this term, but to get this final answer, you need to solve your bn first. Okay, you need to solve your bn first. Okay, alright, so now we want to solve your bn. Okay, write down in the next page. Okay, your bn. Right, So Bn is equal to 2 over L, 0L, and then what else? Fx sine n pi x over L ds. Okay, class. So what is your L just now? Your L is 1, okay? It's 1. So then 0, 1. So what is your Fx? Your Fx is equal to negative x. Okay, negative x. Alright, then sine n pi x over L. What is your L just now? Is 1. And then ds. Okay, so just simplify. Because we know that 2 over 1 is 2. So you just write 2 here. And then 0, 1, negative x sine n pi x dx lah. Okay. Okay, class. So how to solve this one? You can see that they have negative x, they have sine n pi x. So means that they have 2x in this one term. Okay, in the one function here, they have 2x. So means that you need to solve it by using by part. Okay, or you need to solve by substitution or other method. But actually for this one, substitution cannot solve it. Okay, so you just have a by parts. So I don't want to show how the progress. Okay, I just write down the answer that I will get after I use a by part. So yeah, at this stage for by part, you need to figure out how by yourself because you already learned it before. Okay, you already learned it before. Maybe in your diploma level, or maybe in for those yang I think this one should be learned already. Okay, alright, so I just write down the answer that you should get after you do the by part. Okay, so they have 2 here, and then you have x cos n pi x over n pi. Okay, and then they have close a bracket 0, 1. Okay, and then minus what else? Minus 0, 1 cos n pi x n pi dx. Okay, suppose they have a bracket, another one bracket here. Okay, class. Alright, so actually if you do it by part, you will get this one first. Okay, after that you solve this one. Okay, by substituting the 0, 1 and so on. But this one you need to solve again because they have still an integration here. Okay, so the answer that you should get after you done all this is 2 cos n pi over n pi minus sine n pi x over n pi square. Substitute the value 0, 1. Okay, alright. They have sounds at the back as a background. Okay, class, alright. Okay, so cos n pi and so on. Okay, now class, so see carefully. Cos n pi, I already show you just now in the previous video. I will show you some helpful identities that you should remember lah. Okay, you should remember. Okay, some like this, cos n pi. Okay, cos n pi we will replace with this. So cos n pi is equal to negative 1 power of n. So n pi is remain n pi. And then how about sine n pi x? Okay, sine n pi lah, sine n pi. Sine n pi is already equal to 0, even though they have x here. But after you substitute this value 0, 1 into x, so they have no x already, right? So means that you have sine n pi lah. So sine n pi is equal to 0. So they have nothing here. Okay, so means that they have nothing. So you just left with this one. Okay, I just write back. So 2 negative 1 power n pi. Okay, since they have n, okay class, so means that you have to write what is your n. Your n can be any integer from 1 until infinity. Okay, you should write this. Okay, you should write this. So this is your Bn class. So this is your Bn. So the last step that you need to do now is substitute into your equation. Okay, this into this equation back. So summation. Okay, summation n1 infinity. Okay, then what is your Bn just now? Okay, 2 negative 1 power of n pi. And then sine n pi x over L, is it? So L, you just leave it there, because we know that L is 1. So therefore, this is your final answer. Okay, so this is the final answer. So they have about 4 steps that you need to follow. The first thing first is you need to check whether your FS is odd or even. That's the important part. Okay, make sure you do it correctly, because if, for example, if your do the mistake here, for example, the question here, the function is supposed is odd, but you solve it or you get it even. So that's mean your step number 2 will be wrong. Of course, step number 3 also will be wrong. So it will be affect your final answer as well. Okay, class? Alright. Okay, so yeah, this is the example for even. For odd. So actually for even also it will be the same lah. Okay, but for even the changes is only on step number 2. So I mean it start from step number 2. Step number 2 is no longer a naught and n 0, but it will be bn is equal to 0. And what we do next is you need to calculate your a naught and an, of course. Okay, so then you just substitute into the equation. So they also have a case or example if the function is neither. Neither means they have not an even and also not an odd function. So if you get the neither equation, you need to solve for both. Okay, for both means you need to solve even and odd. Okay, I mean, okay, for that one, I think I will show you in the next video, okay? I will show you that one in the next video. Alright, class. So, see you. Bye.